everybody. I'm James, and welcome back to Storytime with James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. All right, this one's called Bobo's Dilemma. Yes. Look, Bobo was a comical dude, He was a comical dude. He was kind of cool to hang around. But he was a little older than us, you know. And he had a lot of acne on his face. So y'all got to excuse me. I got a cold. I somehow caught a cold. You know. Yes, he had a lot of acne on his face, all on his face, and people would talk about him. They would talk about him, like, man, you bumpy face and stuff like that. But Bobo could actually signify better than everyone. He could signify on people. So when somebody said something about his acne, he would light into him. So I don't know, man. But after a couple of times I said people saying stuff about his face and stuff, he would say, "Hey, okay, I'll never wash my face now, and I let it go crazy. I let it go bumps all over the place now. Now, how you feel now? Like that's supposed to hurt us. That's supposed to hurt us. I never could understand it, but he was like I think 4 to 5 years older than us. So he was advanced and stuff like that. I don't know. Anyway, look, I would write a paper, a paper on hand, and then I would take it to the library and make copies of it. Okay, so this was for the neighborhood stuff, for the kids in the neighborhood, the kids that were our age. So I would I would talk about people who got into fights, who won a fight, or if somebody stole something, I'll put that in the paper. And I had a special part in there. It was called the Love Corner. Yes, the Love Corner. In the Love Corner, I would put initials in there. I say DB likes AK, but don't know how to talk to him. Don't know how to say he like him. So I would do that. I would do stuff like that. I have a list, a long list. You know what? I used to go and have interviews with people. I used to go to each person's house and have an interview with them. And then I would ask them and say, who do you like? Who do you like secretly? Who do you like? And they would tell me who they like. And then I would put that in the paper. But I just put their initials, their first and last name initials. But that way, it's kind of hard for you to decipher it because nobody went by their real name, their government names. You know, everybody had a nickname. So that's why I'll put their real initials in there. Yep. It was called the Love Corner. The Love Corner.
The Love
Yes, yes, yes,
Corner.
yes. Yeah, but usually I would put it out every Friday. I would put it out every Friday. So people would be waiting for the paper to come out. Okay. So I start advancing a little bit with the paper. So I had to get somebody to proofread it for me. So I got Bobo to proofread it. And he would take it, he'd say, "Oh, all right, yeah, it's good. You know, just skimming through it. So he said, go, I will put it out. But I started noticing every time I would give it to Bobo to read, he would just, yeah, okay, yeah, put it out. You know, so one day I put something in there about him, okay? I told him this girl liked him, but he had to get rid of that acne on his face first. Okay, so it was in there, and I told him, I said, I let him proofread it. If he wouldn't have liked it, I would have took it out, because I let him proofread the rough draft of it. So I let him proofread it, and he went through. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And I said, "What? Did you read it?" He said, "Yeah, yeah." I said, "You see what it said about you?" He said, "Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, yeah." So the next day, I put what she said, what she actually said about him. So yeah, again, he skimmed through and just didn't read it. So I said, "Bobo, can you read?" And he said, "Man, what you talking about? What you talking about? You crazy or something?" "Yeah, I can read." Shoot, I think he was 18, 19 years old then. And, I was like 15, you know. So I said, well, why won't you read it? He said, cause I don't have to read it. I don't have to read it. I kind of scammed through. I scammed through. So I said, no, you can't read, man. He said, yes, I can. What you talking about? I said, read this then. Read this then. Just read this paragraph. Then he said, man, I got to use the bathroom, man. I'll be right back. And he went in the house and never came back. Never came back. So the next day, it dawned on me then that Bobo couldn't read. He couldn't read a lick. I saw him sign his name. He could sign his name, but he couldn't read. He couldn't read or write. The only thing he can write is his name. He can put his signature on something. And it was like chicken scratch. So then I approached him real hard this time. I said, Bobo, look, I can teach you. I can teach you. Let me teach you. Excuse me. I said, let me teach you. Let me teach you, man. And he said, man, I don't need you to teach me nothing. I know already. I know how to read. You know? I just make y'all think I can't read. So I said, what in the world is wrong with you? So time went on. Then we were going to get summer jobs. And when we went to the place, and Bobo went too. But Bobo couldn't fill his application out. He couldn't fill his application out. So I said, you can't read, can you, man? He said, man, why you keep saying that? Why you keep saying that? I said, because I never saw you read before. I saw everybody else read, but you can't, I haven't seen you read. He said, because maybe it's not meant for you to see. So, needless to say, all of us got jobs except Bobo. Then I found out his brothers could read and stuff like that. But his brothers, they would tell on him. His brothers was a little younger than him. Matter of fact, they was like a year younger than me. His brothers would say, he can't read. He can't read. They would tell on him. They told me he dropped out like in 9th grade. That was it, as far as he got. So I never could understand why Bobo couldn't read, And once again, I tried to reach out to him. Told him, look, look, Bobo, I got a book you can read. And it was like Dick and Jane or something like that. You know, it was a book like that. He said, "Man, it's a baby book." I said, "I'm telling you, man. I'm trying to test you to see what you can read." Come to find out, Bobo couldn't read a lick. He couldn't read a lick. So actually, I tried to teach him a couple of words. You know, so I wrote some words down and on the paper, and I told him what each word was. Then I waited for a minute. Then I wrote the words down in different places, and he couldn't even pronounce a vowel or nothing. Man, I said, "How did you survive this long without reading?" Because I can read. I can read. He was in denial. He was in total denial. He said he can read. So after that, he I think he moved away. He moved away. And years later, I talked to him. We were grown now. I was like 30 something years old. So he had to be 40 something, you know. So he looked bad too. He still had the acne, and he had marks on his face where he'd been scratching the bumps and stuff like that. So I said, "Man, you get that taken care of and stuff like that?" "Yeah, man, I can read. I can read." I said. He said, "I've been can read. I've been can read then." I said, "Oh, well, read. I sent you a message. I sent you a text." "Oh, I can't get text. I can't get text message." I said, "Who don't get text message? Who don't get text message?" I can't get it. I can't get text message. Because when I sent the text to him, it says sent. So that lets me know that it went to him. But he just didn't want to look at it, you know. But somehow they told me that Bobo got on a drug, okay? So he went down bad. He looked bad. But I still don't know if he could read or not. Probably not. Plus, he probably moved away and then got on drugs and just forgot all about it, you know. But I tried to teach him. I tried to teach him. Yes, I believe in that. Each one teach one. I tried to teach him, but he was just in denial. Well, they told me he was doing bad now. He's doing kind of bad. So I hope he gets over his addiction, you know. But I don't think he ever wants to talk to me anymore, you know. Yeah, but I hope he gets over his addiction because that's a hard place to be, you know. So I don't know. All right, you guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like, and hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share, share, share. Share my videos with your family. Share my videos with your friends. Share them with your loved ones. And even share it with your enemies. Peace. Adios. Salamet.